Hey, who doesn't like a cold beer every now and then? Everyone has their favorites, from ales to stouts, from lager to porters. And we like ours with a crab cake. Today on this crab cake, we're joined by some of the beer gurus, or as we call them, brew yous, from Katcef Brothers. And we're going to talk, you guessed it, beer.
We're back up here with Katcef Brothers, and we're here with the wonderful Lauren Hamilton and Bill Catron, who are the beer gurus. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Good. Haven't seen you in a while.
I know.
Man.
Good to be back.
Been doing lots of summer stuff.
Yeah, I think we all have.
I'm ready for fall.
Me too. Me too. The other morning, it was like 52 degrees outside, and I walked out of my house, and I was like, oh, yeah, no, I'm done with summer. This is it.
This is nice.
I'm done.
I walked out this morning, and it was like 90 and like muggy, and I'm like, oh, this is gross.
Yeah, but you lose an hour, man. No one wants to lose an hour.
I know, and you know what, though? I'll take that.
That's on your head.
I'll take that as...
Yeah, Ben Franklin did that to us. I mean, we can take that back.
How dare Ben Franklin? It's all his fault.
Ben was the man.
Ben was the man.
My daughter sent me a text the other week. And it was this Natural Light seltzer picture, and she said, the quote was her quote, said, "What in holy hell is this?"
Yeah.
Is that, and I know we've talked about Naturdays and the Natural Light, which when I tell people about that, I get two reactions. They either like, no way, no how, or yeah, okay, this is okay. There's no middle ground on that. You either like it or you don't. Is what I'm finding.
I've yet to meet anyone who tries it that doesn't actually like it, though. I'm sure they're out there. I'm not saying that they're not, but. Yeah,
you just roll with a different crowd.
Apparently. Well, I don't know what that says about me versus you, John. Probably better about you.
But is so what? Natty Light's getting into seltzer stuff now?
Yeah, so it's the seltzer you never saw coming. Natural Light has released a seltzer. It will officially hit your local stores here in the Annapolis area on Monday, the 19th. Okay. So we are very, very close. It'll be two flavors. Catalina Lime Mixer, which, if anyone has seen Step Brothers with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, it's the effing Catalina Wine Mixer line. Wine mixer. Yep, it's the Catalina Wine Mixer. So that's where this comes from. We've got the Catalina Lime Mixer. So that'll be a black cherry lime. And then we will have Aloha Beaches. Aloha Beaches is a mango peach flavor. That will be, it's actually fantastic. We got some test bottles a couple weeks ago and had a chance to try it. They're fantastic. They are
mango peach.
Mango peach. It tastes like summer.
Why are they doing this in the fall?
We're leaving. I think, we saw the success with Naturdays, launching that in the spring. If we're being honest, we launched that when it was still frigid cold. And it was extremely successful. It takes time to get these things to market from the time that brand teams decide to bring them out into the world, from their conception, and then to get them to market, it takes a while. So that's the way that it fell. It was actually supposed to be a late September release. And all of the wholesalers around the country basically said, no, we want that before Labor Day, please.
We'll get a little bit.
We need that for summer. That is a summer brand. So we'll be releasing it next week.
Well, now that Naturdays has been here for a summer, how did it go?
No signs of stopping. Naturdays
because I remember we talked about saying, well, it's sort of a test. We'll see whether it sticks around, sort of like the Bud Light Lime. And
I don't think anyone saw Naturdays. The tagline for Natural Light Seltzer is the seltzer you never saw coming. I don't think anyone saw Naturdays coming. I don't think anyone thought Naturdays would have legs outside of that first couple weeks when it was a novelty. But speaking from experience, my mom is a beer drinker. She doesn't like fruity beer. She doesn't like flavored beer. She likes light beer. She goes and buys herself an 18-pack of Naturdays every other week, and she mixes into her regular beer drinking. I mean, that beer has legs. People love it, and it's not going anywhere. So,
well, I think what that is that Natural Light has been and I don't want to say it's just a boring beer, but I mean it's been a very solid beer, and that's all they've done is just done a beer, and it's similar to what Bud was 10 years ago. I mean, it was Budweiser, it was Bud Light.
Yeah, but it's naturally light.
It is naturally light.
Well, no. I'm not talking about but I'm talking about when you add.
I'm sorry.
Walked into it, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. But Bill maybe took some liberties with that one, unfortunately.
Sorry. I had a smile on my face the whole time, everyone.
But I think that nobody saw any of this coming out
No.
of Natural Light, just because it is sort of a, it's I'll say it's
Well,
a working man's product type of a.
Natural Light's been a huge college brand for us for years. It also is it fits a lot of places. It's hugely popular on the Eastern Shore. We see that it is a major brand in like the fishing communities. However, that's just always where it's lived, and it's basically done that with zero support and zero focus, and it's always there. It's always there. You can get the stubby bottle, you can get the can, you got 19 different packages you can pick it up in. It's just always there.
Right.
I think the brewery saw the opportunity to expand on that popularity and that consistency and said, screw it, why not? Like, let's go after summer with Naturdays, and then not coincidentally, I don't think, and now this is me purely guessing here, speculating. Thank you, that's the word I'm looking for. It falls in a very timely fashion to students going back to college. So for those legal drinking age students that are in college, that there's going to be a major play there, I would imagine. If you follow social media channels like Barstool Sports and some of the other kind of fringe handles from that group, you'll see a lot of Natural Light Seltzer social media coming through. I've seen it all over my Instagram, and it is not from beer channels. I try and keep my Instagram relatively.
Separately.
Yeah, I mean sometimes you just need a different perspective on things, and you want to see what the average consumer is looking for. And I've spent the entire summer seeing White Claw just painted across my Instagram feed all summer long, and now it's starting to be Natty Seltzer. And the one post that really made me laugh was the picture of Natural Light Seltzer, and the caption was just "Pray for White Claw." And you just have to laugh, and it's like, look, there's room for all of the. We're certainly not targeting any one brand with this, but there's room for all of them. The seltzer category has proven to be huge. I know I've been drinking them all summer. Bill, on his low carb lifestyle, I imagine if Bill were going to go and crack a can on the afternoon,
pinkies up,
pinkies up, man, on some seltzer. So there's room for everybody in the category, but we're excited to bring a more value option to the table.
It's funny you're talking about how it's a big college thing, and Southern Living magazine just named Annapolis as one of the best college towns in the Mid-Atlantic.
That's crazy to me.
I know, and
isn't
I'm
it?
going, are you kidding me? I said they don't allow them to drink at the Naval Academy and the St. John's. Come on,
there's like 12 of them. There's like 12 kids at St. John's, right? Like that's a small school.
I read that. I'm like, going, really? I said, does anybody ever get here?
I mean, I guess I don't know. I've been to a lot of college campuses in the South, and I can tell you there's a lot of really good ones. And I love Annapolis, but I wouldn't consider Annapolis a college town
at all. I mean, we do have football games. We do have two colleges, but
there are a few things better than a Navy game. You can go to a lot of college games, and nothing is as good as a Navy game.
That is true. I mean, I talked to the other teams that come in here, and they're like, dude, man, you got like jets?
Yeah, right?
It's like, yeah, we can do that.
Who needs Roll Tide when you've got the Blue Angels flying overhead?
Yeah, which is very cool. Navy football gets underway in a couple weeks on the 31st, so that's the first home game against Holy Cross. So
fall is coming.
I used to make jokes and just say that I used to play football for the GW Colonials.
Bill.
Did you?
Yeah, they don't have a football team.
My first college was Marietta out in Ohio, and they had a horrible football team.
Yeah.
And I just was there for a year and transferred. And about 8 years later, I saw them on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and I was going, what the hell? And here it was, they won their first game out of like 48 years.
Wow, good.
Literally the first time in a lifetime for most of their students.
Well, that makes sense that they
go team, fly that W.
Every it's like it was a building year. It was a building year.
Yeah, is it always
building up for that half a century mark?
It's almost like they're the Redskins. It's a building year. It's a rebuild year.
That's a dagger.
Sorry, that was a low blow. I didn't mean to take that one.
There's probably more lottery tickets sold that day they won than any.
I know, right?
No kidding. But the seltzer is still going strong there. I see you've got a can of Bon and Viv.
Yeah, so
blue can spell seltzer.
Yeah, blue and white can spell seltzer. So something a little bit different here that I think is kind of cool. So we've been talking about seltzer for the last, I don't know, John, when did you start talking about? May, probably, when we first started talking summer things and seltzers. And I know we've given you the opportunity to try some of them. Well, this is our newest offering, and what is super cool about this one is it's on draft. So you can get this on draft.
Okay.
At any number of bars around the area. Here in Annapolis, going up into Severna Park in Pasadena. I know for a fact there's a ton of them up there. And even going out into like Crofton and all the way out into Howard County. So a whole lot of Bon and Viv Draft. This is an unflavored seltzer. So it is meant to act as a spiked soda water. So we've been using it in cocktails. We've been using it in crushes. So we've got crush bars set up. We've especially had some success with that in DC, where, you know, the Maryland crush is not nearly as... They have not perfected it in DC the way we have here in Maryland. They try really hard, but
Lauren, stop it.
Bill, you're
Stop
a Northern
it.
Virginian. You don't get a say
How
in this.
dare you?
You don't get a say in this
First
one.
off, how dare you? I made a drink in DC called Crush the Penguins. That's right. That's right.
Oh, Bill.
Go with that one.
What are we going to do with you? So what we have is this unflavored seltzer, and I just grabbed a can for it so that we would have the opportunity to try it. But my favorite thing to do with this, and sadly I do not keep Deep Eddy vodka in my office, though there are days when I feel as though I probably should. One of the big things we've been doing with this is pairing it with a shot of Deep Eddy. So everyone probably has their own, and you can do it with Smirnoff. You can do it with, you know, whatever flavor. It works really well with Tito's to just have like a traditional vodka soda, but you're spiking it, obviously, because Bon and Viv is 4.5% alcohol, but it tastes so much like soda water. You're not going to believe it. And I'm not just saying that to like be the hype girl, but I'm kind of being the hype girl because it really is
So
good.
this is. I mean, it's an unflavored. So
Completely unflavored.
I'm not going to be able to.
Oh, thank you.
I don't
very
know.
much.
We'll see how.
It's completely unflavored. So what I've been doing with this one, and
See, we should have like blindfolds and stuff.
I know,
like that,
I know.
It's like, okay, what do you think you're drinking now?
So what I really like about this one is I like a vodka soda with just a couple of limes. That's my jam.
I've learned you like a lot of alcohol.
You know, Bill.
I'm not saying
Which,
that-
you know what's actually hilarious about that, though, as we talk about this? I don't drink during the weeks. Like, we have these conversations, and I sound like a lush. But in reality, like, I'm incredibly boring. Like, you guys have no idea. I'm,
don't
like,
believe
super
that.
boring.
Don't believe it.
Thanks, Bill. Anyway, so you can pair this one with just a couple of lime squeezes in it. We've also done, like I said, a shot of Deep Eddy, a flavored vodka in it. You can muddle some strawberries in there if you want to get a little fancy. You can throw some blueberries in it with some lemon vodka. It makes an awesome blueberry lemonade. But it's a clean slate. It's a totally blank slate for whatever you want to do.
I mean, I'm picking up a very, very, very slate. Not
Just
much.
a little. No,
not
it's
much.
yeah,
I mean,
it's hardly anything.
You throw a squeeze of lime in there,
Cuts right through it.
and I wouldn't have any idea that there's any kind of booze in there.
Yeah, you'd never know. It's sneaky.
It's actually really good, and I like
It
how
is
it's kind
really
of
good.
a little bit bittering because a lot of the seltzers that I've tried, they're a little bit sweet, and so this is great. Now I think it is malt based though, right?
Yes.
That's all.
Well, yeah, all the seltzers are.
Right.
But it is, what's interesting about this is that it doesn't have that, like, tonic-y taste. You would almost expect it to have that kind of, like, artificial flavor to it.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't. Like, I'll admit, I was really skeptical. I was like, there's no way this is going to be good. This is going to be a disaster. It's not a disaster. It's really, really good.
Yeah, I mean,
I
as soon
agree.
as you put anything in that, whether it's whether you're putting it in a larger cocktail or just squeezing it and drinking it as a drink, it's like as you said, it's going to cut right through it.
It's
Yeah,
really good.
It is really good. We've done it in growlers, too, which has been really fun. So, like, any of the stores that have growler systems, and they have the growler cans, the 32-ounce cans, we've had some accounts that you can basically pick your own flavors to go in there. So they'll throw, like, a shot of whatever flavored vodka you want in there. They'll throw some fruit in there, like a puree, whatever, and they'll put it in a growler. So they'll pour the Bon and Viv Classic on
See, I'm
top of
learning
that.
a new word here. You said crowler?
Growler. Yeah, it's called a growler. So it's a growler, but it's a can. It's the half size of a growler.
Now, who all has that around here? Do you know?
There's some spots like headed up into Severna Park. Really, any of those liquor stores that you're going to that have a growler system, ask them for Bon and Viv. See what they can do for you.
Yeah, a lot of breweries have crowlers now too.
Yeah, a lot of breweries will do it. You can get them at a lot of the local breweries too.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's very cool.
Interesting. I've only done like 2 growlers in my life, I think.
Yeah. They're definitely a specific and kind of polarizing thing, right? You need an opportunity to drink 64 ounces of beer in a relatively short amount of time. Right. So you need some people, right? You need a bunch of people that like the same beer.
Now, did Maryland unpucker their laws about the growlers? Wasn't there a time where you had to return the bottle to the same place where you had it filled or something crazy like that?
Yeah, but I don't think that's been on the books for a while. Now it's mostly a lot of people have their own that they take and get them filled and then clean them and take them to get the next thing.
Right.
You can buy them too at most of those stores.
I've got a growler from when Baroque opened up on West Street. That I've got, which will now be a collector's item because they're tearing it down and making it something else.
Are they really?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, September. I think sometimes they're going to debut the new model that was in there, which is a shame. I like Baroque.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good one.
Yeah. Ever evolving.
The Annapolis restaurant and bar scene is always changing a little bit. So
absolutely. I mean, we're seeing it in D.C. It's crazy in D.C. the number of places that are closing and opening, and big places closing too. Leases are getting expensive, and it's not just there; it's happening here too.
Well, they are. I mean, not related to alcohol, but there was a place that I just found out today called Echoes and Accents, which was sort of like a furniture consignment shop right off of Chinkapin Round Road. Mm-hmm. Been there for at least since '96 when I moved here. I mean, been there for I'll say forever.
Yeah.
And I recommended somebody go there to get rid of some furniture, and they're like, oh yeah, they closed about a month ago because again the lease went up, and
wow.
It's unfortunate because that area they rebranded it as the design district.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And now they're all of a sudden, now getting a little shishi, and the people that used to have just like a flat out warehouse type of a place now are getting priced out, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah, it really is. Real estate
the
is
unintended
not cheap.
Consequences.
Yeah, exactly. But real estate is not cheap.
I want another refill on that one. Can I get one more?
That you're asking
have
for
the whole
seconds
can,
on
man.
this one?
The interesting thing though with this place is closing down is that you don't see anybody really going into them that fast in the city.
Not that quickly. Not that quickly. Yeah, you could probably squeeze that apple in there, Bill, and
so
nice little apple cider.
Make a little.
Everyone listening, I have an apple beside me because I'm on this health food kick, so that's what they're giving me crap for. Having an apple
the incredible. Well, what you're also not saying, Bill, is that you have a giant bag of Boom Chicka Pop sitting next to you as well.
What's up, ladies?
Popcorns and apples at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Just saying, I got to keep a figure. That's all.
Yeah. The incredible shrinking Bill.
Yeah. But so what else do we have on the agenda tonight? I mean, I know we're getting out of summer.
Yeah, and
thankfully,
I'm excited for fall. I'm personally ready for fall, but it's been a really good summer for beer. It's been a really good summer. There's a lot of really cool stuff on the market right now. You don't have to be a beer snob to be able to have a lot of fun with beer right now. There's a ton of low ABV, lower calorie, lower carb options that are just floating around out there that, you're not stuck, on a summer seasonal is the only thing that you want to drink when it's 90 degrees out. It's going to be warm this weekend. Like I said, I'm ready for fall, but it's going to be warm this weekend, and there's a ton of really great beer out there that came out this summer that people have the opportunity to try. So I feel bad rushing everyone into fall beers. We're getting ready to release a handful of them. We've released some already, and part of me feels bad because I'm like, guys, it's been such a good summer for beer. Don't break free yet.
What's your favorite summer beer? Give me one.
Okay, so my favorite beer that came out this summer, other than Naturdays. What was that about people I hang out with versus people you hang out with? Other than Naturdays, Devil's Backbone came out with a beer called Bright. It is a sparkling tangerine ale. It is 4% alcohol.
Bright?
Mm-hmm. It's 4% alcohol. It is 90 calories. It is effervescent. It is very nicely, subtly tangerine-y. Just a little bit of sweetness, nothing over the top. It's fantastic. And I'm very skeptical. I don't like fruit in my beer. I'm always skeptical when these new fruity things come out every summer. And typically, in my opinion, some of them fall a little flat for my taste. But this one, I had the first one, and I was like, "Oh, this might be a hit," and it has been. It's in a gorgeous bright orange can, slimline can, so like a Michelob Ultra style or a seltzer style can. So it really stands out, and that would probably be my favorite one. That one was a surprise to me how successful it was. They hit the nail on the head.
You got one, Mr. Healthy?
Oh gosh.
Oh, Bill, you'd have to. Weed through all those options.
There's a lot of options.
Yes, it's a 1995 protein shake.
Yeah, exactly. Bill's got bourbon barrel aged protein shakes hanging out in the cellar.
Probably not wrong. Actually, no. So I would say out of everything, a sour from Troegs, they came out with a really nice one that's called the Raspberry Tart, and that one's fantastic. It's low ABV. It's going to have nice salinity to it for that Goza style, and it just goes down so easy, and it retains a lot of that raspberry flavor on the back end too. So it has some nice legs to it. It's good. Okay. It's good beer. And I like the body of sour beers because they're almost like a cider kind of like wetness, if you will,
that viscosity.
Yeah, and it just makes it easy to drink. So when it's 90 degrees, it's almost like drinking Gatorade of the beer world, if you will, and I have. So that's
That's a good one too. But do you notice a theme? Like as we're talking about our favorite like summer beers that have come out, they're all lower ABV. The breweries are catching on. People care about what they're putting in their bodies right now, and they care about being able to have several beers throughout their day or their, vacation or whatever the answer is. And I'm not speaking for everyone because I think all of us here still love a big booze bomb every now and then. If you appreciate beer, odds are you have your favorite booze bomb or your favorite hot bomb. But it's been really interesting to see the entire community really swing towards those lower ABV beers and embrace them.
Well, I was talking to Bill Mielhauser from Ram's Head and Fordham and Dominion the other day, and he was saying the same thing, that the brewery had come out with a more sessionable, lower ABV beer to offset the IPAs. That it wouldn't say that people aren't drinking anymore, because they certainly are, but
they absolutely are. Category's still on fire.
We want to do that.
Yeah, and you're seeing breweries now that already have lower ABV options coming out with even lower ABV options and even lower calorie options. You have Michelob Ultra Pure Gold that dials back the carbs.
That's got way too many syllables in the title of that one.
But it's so good. It's the first USDA organic beer to the market. It is lower calorie and lower carb. It's 85 calories, and I think 1.8 grams of carbs. Bill, correct me on that. Pure Gold, something like that.
I think it is. It is lower than
I should know that. And
is that the lowest calories of any beer?
No, I don't think it is. There's some out there that are very, very low, but when you're talking about a mainstream brand, when these mainstream brands that are already sessionable and lower calorie are dialing it down even more, I mean, that says something. Like, we're seeing the market go that way. And I mean, Bill's a great example, right? Like, Bill's our resident beer geek. Bill knows more about beer than anyone in this all the people in this building combined, probably. And Bill has drank more beer, more different beers, and has a more educated palate than any of us. But Bill is, like most of us at some point, like trying to make better choices. And so even people like Bill are finding their Troegs Raspberry Tart beer that is, something they can put away a few of and not get banged up, not consume 200 calories in a beer. Like, it matters. People care, and they're looking for those answers. So it's been interesting to see all the breweries sort of jump on board with that.
Thank you for that, Lauren. And I would say that
I'm not trying to pick on you. I'm using you as a wonderful example. Because
it's okay. I'm easy to pick on. But I would say that, Lauren's correct. And, most people who have a beer don't have one. They have multiple. So I think that's what they look at. They don't want 1,000 calories in one sitting.
They want something that has the same calories as a vodka soda and the same amount of carbs as a vodka soda, but that they can drink more than 2 of.
Right.
And not get banged up. It's really interesting. Beer is constantly in a fight against wine and liquor to keep our drinkers in our lane, right? To keep them on our team and to not go to these other options. And I think they found the answer. And that's lower calorie, lower carb, lower alcohol, and better flavor. The flavors on these beers are unbelievable.
Yeah.
You're getting all of that with full flavor.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, there have been some really good ones that, that we've tasted over the months. And
just wait, though. Pretty soon we're going to start giving you beers you can't see through again. We're only a couple months away, John. We're only a couple months away from our favorite game. Which one is John going to hate the most?
That's right. Which dark beer is going to make him say uncle? You'll figure that out.
We're already planning. We've already got a lineup ready to go. We're starting to put together that
We probably
list.
should introduce the blindfold.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that.
That might be interesting.
Maybe we'll do that when we get our first round of winter beers. We start to get the big boozy ones in.
Don't do anything weird.
No, it wouldn't do that.
No, we would never. Why would you suggest that?
We're gonna make a thing called John's List.
Who's gonna bring the Natty Ice? We're gonna put Natty Ice. We're gonna get one of the ice beers, Bush Ice, something crazy, Bud Ice.
Rolling
Throw
Rock.
some of those in.
Our old favorite.
Beware the penguins.
I mean, you gotta be careful. You put a bunch of Rolling Rock in here, and we all might enjoy ourselves a little bit too much. We've been good about keeping a lid on it.
But fall beers are coming, though, right?
They are. They're coming, and some of them are here.
What do we got? Anything?
Yeah, we have one. We got one to try today. We have a ton coming in this week, so we're maybe just a week too early. We'll have plenty to talk about next month. But Bill can kind of talk about this one. Make sure you down your the last of your seltzer because we're a little low on sample cups here today.
We got plenty of beer. We just don't have any of the plastic cups to drink out of them.
I mean, I could go upstairs to my office, but then you guys wouldn't get to hear my wonderful commentary.
We're gonna use the same cup, but so what we're gonna try now is the Bold Rock Harvest Haze. It's brand new from them, and interesting because this is their first venture into using pumpkin into their cider.
It's a pumpkin spice
It's
beer?
not.
Well-
It's not. I promise you, it's not. It's actually. Look, I'm not a cider drinker. This is delicious.
Yeah, I mean it's fruit forward, so you do get a lot of the apple that still comes out of this. It's 130 calories per 12 ounces, and it's also 4.9% alcohol. So it's easy to drink, very nice. What we're finding now is, along with the craft spiked seltzers and stuff like that, people are using this in a lot of drinks. So they're actually mixing this and making a lot of drinks with it. I actually have one account that's actually taking this and making it into ice cubes and then making a drink with it.
That's genius.
Right.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Right. So isn't that one cool? It has like a real. It has a real cider. Like it tastes like the apple cider that you get at the pumpkin patch.
It does. It has a.
Doesn't it?
I want to say a consistency almost.
It does. Yeah.
It's sort of like the Ziegler's apple
That's
cider.
exactly. That's
at the
exactly
Giant,
what it
but
reminds me of.
It's. I don't want to say it's much harder than that.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the sweetness that has. I guess the heft.
Yeah.
I mean that's obviously all apples.
Right.
Yeah, the body on it's really nice. That one tastes like fall. That tastes like you are at the pumpkin patch.
Right.
You get a jug of their, homemade cider. That one's a winner.
Yeah, and everything about Bold Rock, everything's crushed. There's nothing from concentrate. Everything is at the cidery. So, these guys are from right around Nelly's Ford, Virginia, so 2 hours south of basically Charlottesville.
Right next to Devil's Backbone.
Well, I mean, if you had given me this without telling me that this was, Harvest, which screams fall to me, but I would have picked it out into the more fruity, summery kind of a.
Yep, it's delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice ease into fall. I've got some other ones coming. We have a ton of Oktoberfest coming. It's that time of year, like it's St. Patrick's Day, when everyone is Irish. Everyone is German.
When does Oktoberfest start?
September 20.
I think it's the 21st of this year.
Yeah,
I think so.
Sounds right.
So Oktoberfest originally starts the third Friday of every September.
Is that tied to like some religious calendar?
It's tied to a wedding.
Wedding?
Yeah.
Tell the story, Bill.
So
Bill tells the Oktoberfest history better than anyone.
So there was a wedding between Crown Prince at the time, Ludwig, and then I guess her name was also Therese of Saxony. And then so the wedding happened in 1810, but it was October 12th, 1810. So to lead up to the wedding, there was a lot of ceremonies and all that kind of stuff, and that's kind of what spurred Oktoberfest.
Okay.
And actually, there was a kind of a story back then too that Hefeweizens were only available for royalty back then. They were only made for royalty, and after the wedding, that it was available to everyone. It was available to common folk.
Okay, so this was Oktoberfest was a pre-celebration of a wedding.
Sure. Yeah.
And then they just sort of tagged it to a specific date.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Annapolis area and all over is going to have different October celebrations, Oktoberfest celebrations and whatnot. And, of course, the old Stein Inn down in Edgewater will be, like, busy for the...
They always are.
Absolutely.
They always are. And we have the original Oktoberfest beer, so that's going to be cool.
What is
it
the
always
original
is
Oktoberfest
Spaten. So, again, a story Bill tells better than I do, but we have... Spaten is part of our portfolio. We have Spaten Lager and Franziskaner and Optimator year round, and we have the Oktoberfest every fall. So that is sort of the anchor to all of our Oktoberfest programming, and all of the stuff that you will see out in market will surround Spaten Oktoberfest, and then all of our craft partners are participating as well with their Oktoberfest too.
That will be cool.
It will be cool.
I'm looking forward to that. And then... and as we get into fall, though, now, are you guys going to be bringing the Clydesdales back? I know it's like Military Bowl is going to be rolling around before we know it again. Do you know?
So soon. I don't know for sure. I know, that's
I mean,
Cassie's.
Everybody wants them. Let's put it that way.
I know.
Everybody that was here,
know.
I'm sure you guys are just dying for it. And I realize with 6 hitches, I think there are across the country that ponies are in a little bit more demand than...
Yeah, we Military Bowl, though, is a priority for them, so we typically can make it work. I don't even know what date the game is on this year. Have they announced that
I believe
yet?
it's the 29th, yeah.
Oh, did they?
I think it's the 29th.
Well, I think that's a win. That's better than New Year's.
Yeah.
That was tough.
That was tough.
But I imagine Cassie is well on her way to getting them booked for a Military Bowl again this year.
I hope so. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed for that, because that is just one event that you guys have brought for five
I think
years
this is
now, I think, and it's I mean, it's just something that everybody just looks forward to, and
it's so
even
cool.
if they bail out on the game, it's like, hey, let's get
you don't even have to go to the game as long as you can wear like a sleeping bag as a coat and stand down at City Dock in 12-degree weather in the morning. Which, thank you everyone for who does that and comes out to see it, because that's part of the fun. But as long as you're willing to do that, it's totally worth it.
That is a lot of fun. Well, I know that coming up this weekend, and we'll get this turned around real quick, but we've got the Kegs and Corks Festival.
Yeah.
Which will be a lot of fun. And I know that you guys have some stuff that's there. I know the Hoop Tea.
Hoop Tea is
will be
back.
There.
Hoop Tea is finally back.
Babe will be there, I think.
Yep.
Which is still...
Babe is still rocking for us. We'll have Babe. We will have Bon and Viv Classic on draft. So if you have not had a chance to try it yet, and you're coming to Kegs and Corks, you will have the opportunity.
I heard there is a special Kegs and Corks labeled brew.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's news to me.
Yeah.
Well,
you want to know a secret?
Yeah.
It's Budweiser.
Well, I mean, as it should be.
That's what they told.
Cassie's just keeping all the secrets from us, you guys.
But that's on the on the I'll say the purchased end of it. I mean, those are going to be in the distribution trucks where you can actually pour a full glass and whatnot. But there's going to be samples of, I think there's 40 different brews out of like 20 different breweries, and of course you've got the wine which goes with it. That would be the Corks part of the Kegs and Corks.
That's our entrance into the Corks part of Kegs and Corks. So we'll have Babe, we'll have Bon and Viv Spiked Seltzer. We will have Hoop Tea, and then of course a number of our brewing partners will be there as well. So there's a lot of opportunity to try.
I heard you're doing a horseback riding demonstration. Is there any truth to that?
Yeah. No, they didn't hire me for that one. Not this time around.
We need an equestrian, anyone in an equestrian.
Yeah. Is anyone here a marine biologist?
I am.
The sea was angry that day, my friend. Seinfeld references never get old. Dating ourselves here. So Kegs and Corks is going to be awesome. Weather's going to be gorgeous this weekend, too. It's going to be perfect.
It's always good on any kind of festival when you can see that 5-day weather forecast, and it looks encouraging.
Yeah, it's not raining, and it's not 103 degrees with 100% humidity.
Are there any other big things that you're aware of in the fall that are, I mean, obviously I know we've got Kegs and Corks. I know there's a couple different festivals. What's that?
You ever heard of Capit-Ale?
Oh, no. Bill.
Oh, yeah.
Bill's dropping it. Bill's dropping a big one.
Coming in strong. So, Devil's Backbone is the official beer of the Washington Capitals, and they're making a hazy IPA called the Capit-Ale. The handles are awesome. They're hockey sticks. It's got the Capitals logo on it. Now, this is preemptive because I haven't seen one in my hand, but I've seen the digital copy, and it is going to be awesome.
So they announced it via social media, was it 2 weeks ago? And it absolutely exploded.
And what is it? What is it gonna?
It's the beer made for the Caps. So it will be available in 16-ounce cans in the stadium. Or in the arena. So when you're there at Capital One Arena, you'll be able to get your hands on 16-ounce cans. It will be available in draft for the general market. So we will have some out here in Anne Arundel County as well because we are part of the Caps market. So
Baltimore doesn't have a hockey team.
Correct. It is all Caps all the time. So we will have Capit-Ale, which is the liquid's supposed to be amazing. I have no doubt that it is. Devil's Backbone rarely does anything wrong. And the graphics are out of this world. They're awesome.
Yeah, they're really cool.
Wild.
And they're making another beer, too. So this is going to be where it splits. You ready for this one?
Okay.
The ATTR.
ATTR or CC?
Hashtag ATTR.
ATTR. So, HTTR is Hail to the Redskins, right? In D.C., we are a Redskins market, not a Ravens market, the way the NFL breaks out the mileage rules and all that fun stuff. So, last year, Devil's Backbone made 2 beers for the Redskins. They made an ATTR Gold and an ATTR Burgundy, or Red, whatever they called it. And they let the consumers decide which beer they preferred. They preferred Gold. So the Gold is a golden ale made by Devil's Backbone that will be available in any of the Redskins markets. So those of you listening in PG County will be able to get your hands on it.
Represent, by the way.
Represent, yeah. Bill's from PG County.
Just saying.
Yeah, so ATTR is going to be our Redskins beer for this year, also made by Devil's Backbone. They're nailing it with the team partnerships. Then
Very
they'll
cool.
also be doing a brand for the Wizards as well. That has not yet been announced, but it's something cool, I promise.
Alrighty, well, we are going to be back again next month. And if you are listening to this, make sure you get out to Kegs and Corks. If you want to try that Bon and Viv on tap, it will be there.
Yes, it will.
Look for Naturdays Seltzer.
Oh, we'll have Naturdays too at
Oh.
Kegs and Corks. Regular Naturdays will be there too. I say
Okay.
regular Naturdays like it's regular. Wonderful Naturdays will be at Kegs and Corks as well.
Okay.
In cans, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
in cans. Oh gosh, no. Can you imagine what that would do to a draft line? And then Natty Light Seltzer launching on Monday.
And then it's launching on Monday in the area, so you can go down there and give that a try. And we'll have to try that next month when
Absolutely.
when you're here. And you'll have to have cold cans
I'll
as
get-
opposed to ice cubes.
I'll be far better prepared, I promise.
Lauren Hamilton from Katcef, Bill Catron, thank you very much.
John, thanks for having us.
We'll see you next month.
See ya.
This crab cake has been brought to you by the Maryland Crabs. Full episodes release every Thursday at noon. Please make sure you subscribe and visit us online at themarylandcrabs.com.